The book is available now, Faith Funding and the Female Founder. Grab your ebook today for the introductory price of just 99 cents. Share and bless a friend.
Welcome to the Coach Koffe Brown Show. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Koffe Brown Show. Faith, purpose, business, possibilities flow. Grab your dreams and grab your cup. It's time to rise up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Koffe Brown Show. And we are fired up and excited to have these incredible authors from the book, Faith Funding and the Female Founder. Welcome to the show, everybody. As you're coming in, go ahead and share with your communities. Let them know you're on the second round two of Faith Funding and the Female Founder with these absolutely amazing leaders that have penned to paper for this anthology project. So super excited to have each and every one of you in the building. So welcome. As our audience is coming in, come on in, say what's up to us, say what's good, say what's popping to us as you are coming in. So welcome. We're so excited to have everybody present with us. Ladies, are you excited? How y'all feeling? How you feeling?
I'm super excited. I'm always excited, Coffee. I'm just excited to be second time anthology with you guys. So
yes, and we're glad you came back for round two. And we always are excited when we get some of our leaders to come back and add value to new authors and enjoy the journey once again. So this is day two. A lot of the ladies that were scheduled for this evening, we had some schedule conflicts. So we want to give some snap claps to the other amazing writers that didn't get a chance to be on with us. So we clap it up for them. Super excited for their contribution to this powerful project. And the baby is in the building. The baby is in the building. Okay. So we're so excited about having this book. I mean, like, she is so beautiful. Like, I'm like, girl, you are so cute. I love how we had a conversation about the cover and talked about just having it to be feminine and really charged with our feminine energy and just making it soft, you know, instead of having a book cover that was more aggressive. We just looked at it from a perspective of, as women, we want this to come across to really pull in our ladies for them to really enjoy this. Fellas, we definitely want you to tap in as well. Some great information for you in the publication as well. Nonetheless, we're looking for the ladies. We're looking for the ladies, and we are excited that the women have penned this particular project. So I want to introduce you guys to these amazing ladies. First and foremost, I want to introduce the newbie to our community. Nikita comes to us from another group that we're a part of. And when we talked to the owner of that particular group, we were like, hey, can we holler at the ladies in the group, see if they want to partner with us? And they were like, yeah, go ahead. And Nikita right away was like, I'm interested. I would love to be a part of the project. And it was just a pleasure to really work with you. I love how Nikita, whenever she didn't know something, she was like, coffee. And then she'll wait for it. Coffee. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love her personality, and like, she's just like, listen, I'm not, in essence, when she does that, she's like, I'm not getting it. I need you to play it over again. I need you to hit rewind one more time because I don't get what you're saying. Okay, hit rewind one more time. But I appreciate that. I appreciate your candor and you being a part of this project. So talk to us about who you are and why you made the choice to be a part of this particular project. Of course, you've had options, you've written before, you have your own bodies of work. So what made you say yes to this particular project?
Well, first of all, I am Nikita Ford, and I am from Beloit, Wisconsin. A lot of people don't know where the heck that is, but I am an hour north of Chicago and an hour south of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is where I am. I am a mother of 5 adult children, ages 35, 33, 30, 27, and my baby's 25. I am a grandmother of 6.
Hold on. Stop the car. Stop the car. We just had Rona on the other day when she got babies from 35 to 9. You got babies back to back to back, honey.
Yeah.
You were busy, young man.
I was. You know, I became a mom at 16. And by the time I was 26, I had 5 children. So I raised my 5 babies as a single mother. And they're all grown now. And I got 6 grandbabies. So.
Wow. You are a whole glam mom. Look at you. Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Listen, go Nikita. That's all I got to say is go Nikita. Listen, tell us what was the real reason behind your saying yes to being a part of this project.
Well, you know, I actually came across this project. I don't like to say by accident because God doesn't make accidents, but I just happened to be scrolling on Facebook and saw you, Miss Koffe, and saw the opportunity that was posted. And I said, let me click on this and see what's going on. Because I am a founder of a nonprofit organization, and my whole heart and vision is women, sisterhood. And so that's what my nonprofit is about. It's called Rubies with a Purpose. And me being a domestic violence survivor, that's what my nonprofit is about, to reach out to women who are survivors of domestic violence. And so when I came across that, I said, oh, this is perfect, working with women. And like you said, I had already written a book prior. So me writing, that was nothing new to me. But I'm like, I get to work with a group of ladies. It feels like home. It felt like home to me. And the way I was welcomed and the way you embraced me and welcomed me. And even though I had some challenges, you belittle me or look down on me. You embraced me with open arms, supported me. And I said, you know what? This is like home to me. And faith is my foundation. And, I've been looking for funding. Being a nonprofit in the nonprofit world, that's something that's near and dear to my heart. So it was very personal for me. And then being a founder of a nonprofit organization, it just really drew me. I know what it's like to build through grief. I lost my husband December 2nd of 2021. So he's only been gone almost 6 years. So grieving, and after I buried him, when he was still alive, I was in the middle of starting the nonprofit. And then when he passed away, he didn't get a chance to live to see me do all of this. And it was hard trying to build through that grief. But I tell you what, you ladies, and I can't wait to meet you all personally and in person. I feel like you guys are my family now. And this is what I needed. I don't have a lot of friends. I got my family members and stuff like that, but I actually feel like I belong to a family now. And so I am grateful to God for that. I'm excited. And I want to thank you all so much. Like I said, I have a lot of questions. A lot of things are new to me. Sometimes, you feel like you don't fit in. And that has been me most of my life. But being with this sisterhood, all of that has changed. So thank you all so much for allowing me to be a part of this with you.
I love it. Yeah, we are, we talked about that, and Gracia's over in the Instagram ministries, and she's over there cheering you guys on for sure. She's like, yes, Nikita, yes. So she's over there testifying while you speaking. So super, super grateful to have been a part of the project. And we don't turn anyone away because, something transpires that is out of their control, because we understand that life will happen. Things do come up and things go awry. Challenges show up, but challenges come to show us who we really are. It shows us how we really can handle life, how our maturation process is really coming to fruition. Are we really emotionally intelligent? Because life has to happen. It's a part of our natural human experience. But for you to be able to overcome, for you to be able to forge forward, it says a lot about who you are. You got to have a level of resilience in order to be a business owner. So you got to make sure that you say, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I have to make sure that my bootstraps are definitely on for sure.
I tell you what, God has been putting me in rooms that I did not. Look, I wasn't a kid saying, oh, I want to grow up and be an author. Oh, I want to grow up and be a politician. I ran for local office for the first time this year and won.
Come on.
I am an elected official now. So all of that's new to me. I'm a Rock County Board Supervisor for District 13, which is the district that I live in here in Beloit. And so, yeah, God has been putting me in a lot of rooms that I didn't think I was qualified for, but here I am.
I love it. Come on, we got the politician in the building. Come on now. Listen, come on now. Let's go. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments. We are truly proud of you. Welcome to our family. We don't become family, we remain family. Crystal has been with me for years, and so you're just a part of a family. And as Dr. Shamika mentioned in the comments, we got you. We got you. We become family, we remain family. So that's the way we do things around here for sure. Next up, my girl who is a lyrical genius in her own right. This girl is a songwriter. She's a screenplay writer. She's been featured all over the world. Matter of fact, one of her projects that she did is on a global stage now, and she is just doing her thing. She's just really, really gifted in the arts, and she's going to be featured in another country with her musical talents and giftings on display. So let's give it up for my girl, Crystal Sauls, who literally came to us as a referral, a solo pardon me, a solo author, and now she is a 3-time international best-selling author with her third project, which is this one under her belt. Huge, huge congratulations to you, Crystal. Crystal, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're on mute. You have to unmute yourself. Welcome.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for that warm welcome, Coach Koffe. So excited. In Virginia.
Welcome, lady. Crystal, tell us a little bit more about yourself over there in Virginia and what it is that you do and why you said yes to this project.
Yeah, so I am Crystal from Norfolk, Virginia. Been here in Richmond, Virginia since I was 2. So we're going to stay here, but we're going to travel. And so, I am a creative. That's what arts people do. They write books, screenplays, music, anything with art, scribble a little bit, might become, something to go in a museum one day, so I embrace the art side of me. And so I'm excited to be a part of this project. I was happy to be referred to you several years ago to do my first book. And I'm so happy to keep in touch every year to do this book. And so now, I'm excited about this project because I always get to talk about something current. You send us the anthology project. You have a list of titles. Then there's always one that's, dear to my heart, and so, or some recent something that happened. So I am so happy to be a part of that. And you asked, you told me about it. You reached out. I got a warm welcome. You're like, Crystal, such and such. So, you always make it possible for us to move forward and share more content because we're going to eventually put it out anyway. But you give us that edge forward to be like, this is what we got, and you can be a part of this way. So, and it's always that homey feeling, So I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, we are excited to have you back. As always, you add value and it is awesome. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you back with us. Last but certainly not least, my little sister, honey friend. We met through social media a long time ago. It had to be nearly a decade ago. We were always talking back and forth on social media. And it wasn't until last year that we physically ended up being in the same place at the same time. Matter of fact, was it last year or was it 24?
It was 2023.
It was 3?
Yes.
It sure was 3. Okay. So it was 2023. After about 6 or 7 years following each other on social media, going back and forth, conversing. It was a long time. We were supposed to have speaking engagements together, but I would show up and then she would have a schedule conflict. She would show up, then I would have a schedule conflict. So we never would be in the same place at the same time, although we conversed all the time on social media. Super excited for her, yes. And she is literally one of the lead writers on the project, adding value to other authors in the space of helping them to get their voice heard through this project. So super excited for your yes. This is your second time as an international best-selling author. So congratulations and kudos to you on that. Super excited that you got a chance to be here with us. And, I have some questions for you guys in a minute, but I'm going to start off with you for this particular question. When you wrote this time versus the last time, you are definitely a different person. When we put that book out and it got released at the top of 24, you are definitely not that same young lady from that book versus this book. That lady has definitely evolved. And I want you to kind of share with us just a little bit about what it really means to evolve. There were some things that you and I went through together in the background. And as we were going through these particular maturation things that were happening, we were still forging forward, still doing our things, still making it happen in the front end. But we were having these conversations that literally would have contradicted what we were forging forward to. Let me ask you, how did it feel to do this publication versus the last one?
Hi everyone, I'm Depria. I go by your favorite natural goddess. Oh my goodness, Coffee. First of all, I was not expecting you to really catch me off guard like that because you read the book, you know? So thank you so much for
I'm
inviting
talking
me.
about, I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of the second anthology, but also to play a lead in carrying such an impactful evolution of the divine feminine, or just women in general who have experienced so much and decided to build strength, resilience, and persevere through it all to get to this. Okay, so when Coffee reached out to me the first time for the first anthology, I did not think I was ready to write in a book of that magnitude. And I'm only saying that because I'm used to sharing with my blog, with my community, but having something published with other amazing authors or speakers and women that's just operating in their right. Going through that challenging time in my life, but also writing and allowing myself to put what God was calling me to share out, because my chapter in that book, I just knew it was for me. I knew it was for me. It pulled at me and I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that one, but I couldn't release it. And it took me until maybe 2 weeks before it was supposed to be due. And Coffee no, because I was like, I have not started writing. It took me until about 2 weeks for me to finally just put it there, go through it, process it, because I was already in that phase. So to be at this point in my life where I have written in the second anthology of this magnitude, come on, Lord. I'm telling you, it has to be God, because Coffee spilled the beans, but for me to evolve in such a period of time like that, gracefully, with so much strength, with the resilience, with the determination to be unstoppable, no matter what was currently happening. Like Coffee said, we had multiple conversations about things that wouldn't necessarily make logical sense for you to be so strong, if you will. So I'm so grateful to be here now to share that story, because listen, the first book was so beautiful and beyond graceful when it comes to what that was for. But this time and age, everything that we're experiencing, this is going to touch so many women and help them shift. That's what this life experience is about. If we're not shifting, what are we doing? How are we growing? How are we making an impact for the next to come? So I'm beyond excited. I cannot wait to get the book in my hands. And thank you so much, Coffee, for being all that you are and holding space for us women to have a space to just be.
Yes. And it's and the reason why I talked about the evolution, and it wasn't necessarily like your chapter, it's literally the wealth of wisdom that you've even been sharing from a social media stance with your community, talking about, this is where I was. You guys don't know this, but this is literally where I was. This is where I am now. It's not easy to be that transparent. A lot of people don't really get that when it comes to being fully engaged and not caring about the risk of what it is you're sharing. That says a lot, because I know initially, like even when we got ready to share about the other publication, we started conversing. You were like, Coffee, I don't know if I really I don't really know it. But now when I see the evolution and how you're just sharing candidly and like not even thinking about what anybody else's ideology is behind your share. It is your journey. It's your life. It's what has transpired with you. This is what I want to share. I just really, really like the fact that you're doing that. It's so impactful and it's so needed. It's really needed. It's genuinely needed for other women to feel safe, to be themselves, and to let their hair down, to really just be able to say, this is me. this is what transpired. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm dealing with. It is what it is. So kudos to you for that, for sure. That's not easy to do, not easy at all.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I want to go a little bit further and kind of talk about, not we're not going to talk about the book, because if we talk about the book, then y'all won't get the book. It don't make sense to talk about the book. We're not going to talk about the book. But what I will share with you is this. It is 99 cents through the next couple of hours for your ebook experience. Grab your ebook copy. It is 99 cents for the next couple of hours, and then that promo is gone. We just want it to be a blessing to you guys as we release the project, and I am so excited. The first night that we were here, we hit the bestsellers list in one category, but I am back to tell you that we hit the bestsellers list in all categories where the book has been published worldwide. So huge congratulations to you ladies on that. Kudos, snap claps, and huge blessings to each and every one of you, all 15 of us that were in this book, myself included. I normally do not write in books, but I did write in this one. I just felt like it just, faith funding and the female founder. Now I'm the one behind, I'm the Wizard of Oz behind it. So how am I not going to write, in the Wizard of Oz book, right? And I was just really excited to be able to share. Like you, Nikita, I had to lay my spouse to rest in 2011. So I definitely understand that, and how that is something that really can rock the world of the person that is on that end, as far as having to journey on with the family, keeping the children on their trajectory, on their path, making sure they're still okay, they're still good. My babies were 8, 11, and 12. So they were super young, and my son was turning 13 just months after their dad passed. So it was just a crucial time. And then we moved from Florida to Texas in that same year. Less than 6 months later, we were in Texas and beginning a whole new journey. So it was a lot of moving parts, but I tell my children now, we have these candid conversations. I said, I would not change that move. I would not change it for anything, because I knew that they needed to be in a new environment. They needed to have a new set of experiences, and they needed to be able to reset. They needed to be able to reset and be okay, because, when their dad first departed this life, people were always in their face. Oh, I'm so sorry about your dad. And it didn't give them any space to breathe. And I remember when they were going through grief counseling, and I just really am grateful for Rosemary Winbush. She's in Jacksonville. She's a key leader over at our formal ministry, which is Bethel. And she sat down with us for a few times and had candid conversations with myself. And then we had another counselor in the picture, and they encouraged me not to have them to see their dad like that. They encouraged me because of their age at that time and how it could really cause some difficulties. And I remember getting on the phone, with my other friends and stuff like that. And it was a couple years after that my grandmother passed. And interestingly enough, her dad passed at the same age as my baby girl. Same age. They were both 8 years old. And I asked my grandmother, I was like, what do you remember about your dad? And she said, I just remember him laying there and nothing was happening. He was just laying there. It was just scary. It was so scary to me. And I'm thinking to myself, this woman is in her 70s, and you still can see that image in your imagination. So that confirmed for me that I didn't want to put my children through that. So years later, once we got settled in, I took them to San Antonio, to the military base where he's laid to rest, for them to actually see their father's tombstone and everything, and kind of be able to address their loss. And it was much better than them having to see their dad like that. You should have seen them. They were all distraught at the memorial. He wasn't even there. They were tore up, and he wasn't even there. So you can imagine what would have happened had they actually seen him like that. That would have been a lot for a child to have to ingest. So I'm grateful for counselors like Rosemary Winbush and the other counselor. I'm not at liberty to disclose their name, but I'm just grateful for those counselors that actually help you to understand the process of what you're going to have to deal with, and how to deal with the babies involved, and how to handle things. And, So I am super grateful for that. And this publication just kind of reminded me of that in the chapter that I was able to expound on. So I am so excited about this publication. It's like Priya said, it's very different from what we've done in times past. It's significantly different from anything we've done in the publishing company over the past decade. And it's something that became a lot different with my being certified in AI and being able to support my ladies with that, making sure they have something they can take away, not just a book. I always tell people, if you're going to do something like this, have something that people can take away with them into their ecosystem of their business and their brand that is going to be able to add significant value to them. So I want to give a big shout out to my coach in the AI space, Alicia Little. She is a queen of AI. She is the top 25 women in the world to look at when it comes to artificial intelligence. So huge ups to her on the initiative that she's doing in that space to educate and empower and inform and advocate when it comes to artificial intelligence. And today I passed an exam for AI literacy as an educator. So I'm super excited about that, being able to go back to share in the educational space when it comes to AI. But moving forward, I want to get back to Nikita for just a minute. Nikita, I wanted to ask you, in your journey with your business, with the nonprofit sector, and now that you are in the political space, are you feeling that those two things are going to be something that you're going to continue to do to add value to your city? Do you feel like you're able to take publications like the one we wrote, like the one that you wrote, and find a way to help some other woman somewhere to do exactly what you were able to do? Kind of like a playbook kind of concept where your life is now the playbook for some other woman who's aspired to do something, but they were just afraid to do it. And you're on mute. There you
mute
go.
myself there.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, that's been my whole heart, even before I started the nonprofit, before God gave me Rubies with a Purpose. It's always been my heart and my passion to help other women. And now that I have these platforms that, God allowed me to be on with, being a politician now and being an author and now a founder, I know it's not just about me. God did not put me in these rooms and give me this platform for me to say, whoa, look at me. It's for me to help other women like me. Like I said, being a teenage mom, when I got pregnant at 15, I was ashamed. I was scrutinized. I was, shame on you. There were parents that did not want me around their daughters because, I had gotten pregnant. And so for a long time, I really felt like, well, who can I help? I got pregnant at 15. Then I had the nerve to have another baby. I had 2 kids by 18. Then by the time I was 26, I had 5 kids, 3 baby daddies. Who are you to try to help somebody else with all of the stuff that you've been through, the abuse, being sexually abused as a child, and all of the things that I had gone through? I'm like, am I ever going to have a voice? And if I do have a voice, who's going to listen to me? And now here I am at 52 years old. Now that my children are grown, I have something to say. And I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't want to keep this to myself. I know God allowed me to go through the things that I went through because he knew that I was going to be in this space. He knew I was going to have these platforms. He knew I was going to have this position. And so I have to share. I have to bring my sisters along with me. There's no question about it. I appreciate everyone applauding me and showing their appreciation, but I want to bring others along with me. And so I definitely will be moving further along, in my politician era. When my term is up in 2028, I do plan to run again. And who knows where, God is going to take me. And then as far as the nonprofit, I definitely want to expand to help not only women my age, but also younger girls, college age girls, teenagers, to possibly prevent them from going through domestic violence situations, learning healthy boundaries, learning self-esteem, learning to know their worth. Because like I said, growing up, I did not know my worth. I didn't. And it took me until maybe my 40s to really understand what my worth is. And now that I have this, like I said, the platform and the opportunity, I'm running with it. I can't keep it to myself. I got to bring my sisters along with me and my brothers. And I want to, single out the men, but my heart is really towards my sisters and younger girls, to help them to understand it don't matter what you've been through, honey. It does not matter what you've experienced. You can be successful and you can make it. And guess what? You don't have to be ashamed. There's no shame. I was ashamed for a long time about the things that I've gone through, a lot of the bad decisions that I made in life that could have landed me in prison. A lot of people that's close to me know my story, know that I was in the streets at one point in my life. And I just thank God that I can take those experiences and use them for good. And what the devil meant for evil, God has turned it around, and I'm here. I'm still here. I survived, and I want other women to know that they can survive as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that. Kudos to you for sure. That is amazing. That is amazing. Crystal.
Hey, Coffee.
You literally, hey girl, hey, you are I don't even know how to really describe it. Gracia and I have talked about this a few times, but you have literally taken that one publication and made sure that you touched countless lives with that project, making certain that you are constantly pouring into people, adding value. Crystal, what actually pushes you to be so aggressive with your publication that you wrote years ago now? It's been what? I think you're on your 5-year anniversary now.
Yes.
Yeah, you're on your anniversary. So, Crystal, what do you think has contributed to your success? And this is for all the writers that are listening, those that are aspiring to be a writer, those that really desire to be a writer. It's not about you just penning a project. It's about you taking that publication and making it your calling card. This is now your business card. And how are you able to really do that, Crystal? You've had that book. You've had countless opportunities. You've been on television with the book. You've done screenplays about it. You've done so many different things with that one publication. You are in the Chamber of Commerce with the book. You're in the Library of Congress with the book. Talk to us about how you did those things and what made you want to be in such a heavy pursuit with that publication to get it out to the universe.
So I'll tell you how in a second. So the passion to get it out was that, first of all, I knew I needed to write something. So when I started, I wrote 3 books at once, but I could only afford to get one published. And I said, I'm going to go with this one. So I've been crying about it, and it seemed to have touched me. So I said, it's got to touch somebody else. And then all the wheels started turning. So the goal is to share content with people that are relatable and real. And the contents in my first solo publication is mostly not content that most people will talk about. So it was more of an awareness for me. But then over the last 5 years, I can say I've met people of all nationalities from all over the world that have done interviews personally with me that can relate. And so it's not only the Crystal being a teenager turning into her late 30s and early 40s talking about this, really teens, 20s, 30s. And so it's people that were estranged that pushed me to continue to write. Divorced, been with somebody for a long time, and they will come and share stories and just talk to me at my place of employment. And they didn't know I wrote a book. But I'm like, hey, this is that transition. This is that shift. This is that movement that's taking place. And it's always living. As long as you're alive, it's always going to be that relationship story. Everybody can relate. And so the continual stories that I hear about is what pushes me. And then, I have the workbook series, a companion workbook, and 2 other workbooks that go along with that first solo publication. So it's the people that I'm around and the people that come to me that continue to push me to share. And then, mind you, I'm still going through stuff. I'm, like you always say, you're a different person than who you were when you first wrote it, but you're still going through different things. You're still going to bounce back. You're still going to be on top, and you're still going to feel crazy, but you're going to bounce back. And that's everybody's story. And then also off camera, on the news stations, people had their own transition stories. They didn't read the publication. I mailed one out to one host, and it never got there. So they were on a website. They asked me questions. They sent questions. But off camera, everybody has a transition story. So that let me know that this is relatable. So I'm excited to share that, and then to continue to share more stories. And then you talk about the screenplay. So I always wanted my books to become movies way before writing any book. So everybody's not going to read a book. They might not listen to it, but they might look at a movie. They might look at your book in a format. You got to catch them where to meet them. They might listen to a podcast on the way to work. So you have to take that one publication, take those trending stories, and put it in a format where everybody is going to, some people are going to hear. Some people are like, Crystal, when is your book going to be on Audible? Is it going to be on Audible? Because I don't have time to read, but I'll listen to you talk about it. I'll listen to the interview that you did. So that's the motivation. That's the goal. And then you can share more detail in a short film or feature-length screenplay. And as of to date, I've won at least 16 different festivals and over 16 to 20 categories based on the book, the short film screenplay, and the feature length, which talks about a chapter in the solo book. So there's a lot more detail in the screenplays and things like in the plays. We did a play in March. There's a lot more detail that comes off across camera versus what's in the book. So my heart is to continue to share content that's relatable and real to people all over the world. And so even with this project,
I love it.
It was the same thing. My chapter that I chose, it was a fresh topic. I didn't use AI to generate all of my content. I'm like, no, I went through all of that recently. It was fresh. I didn't know that I would be asked to be in the book, So it's always something relatable. And people today are just picking up the copy. They're picking up their message.
Right.
You got another. So it's still inspiring. These are people that were with me from the beginning that are still buying whatever I come out with. So that's a push. That's motivational. And then I'm going overseas in 2 weeks, and we'll be able to, have that QR code, and people are going to want to, I'm going to do music, but still, at my table is everything and it's the book. So it's the people. You're here to share and inspire. You still live and you got a story to tell. So we're here to tell our story.
Period.
Point blank.
Period. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm excited about it. And I'm really excited about the book documentary from the solo project that's being featured in Paris now throughout the rest of the year at a film festival. And to have an international in Berlin as well, to have the book featured overseas is huge to me, because people want to hear a story from an American, way across the water before anything was even picked up here. It's there. And it's just talking about that whole journey about writing a book and, those beginning processes. And not so much about the details of the book, but the journey, And so, Koffe, you're a big part of that journey. And so I'm really excited about it, as well as, my referral. So you've got to continue to put out content that's relatable. You got to bless somebody. You don't know how to touch people. You don't know. You just got to write. You got to be obedient.
That's right. Very true. Very true. Thank you for that share, Crystal. Dupriya. You know, so many times there has been an amazing opportunity for you to partner with people for various reasons in various arenas at various times. When those partnerships begin to go against the moral compass that you have, the things that you really ultimately initially believed it to be, I want you to talk to the community about this, because this is something that a lot of people wrestle with, about dissolving those partnerships, walking away from those relationships. Sometimes you will have to leave revenue on the table. Talk to us about that, Depriya, as a business person with that mindset, being in the world of even in the traditional environment, to work with those individuals, but still stay focused on your dream, your aspiration, everything that you have set for you to accomplish in life. And then being a mom on top of that, adding that to that entire ecosystem. Whenever you have to dissolve something and you have to walk away, talk about the impact of that, how you have to stay aligned on purpose, how you have to make sure you're still walking in emotional intelligence and still able to show up in every single room as the best version of you.
Coffee, we're going to have a conversation when we get off of here, okay? We're going to have a conversation. Nikita, I can relate to your story about being a teen mom, because I became a teen mom at 15. And being in school, just hearing the different things that people would say, or experiencing the different things that people would do, considering you being a pregnant teenager. And I was the only pregnant teenager at the school. So I experienced a lot of judgment. I experienced a lot of chaos and just drama. And at home, it was a lot of that too. So I, at a young age, became very good at being my own best friend and trusting my inner guidance. So no matter what I was experiencing or what the circumstance looked like or the environment looked like at the moment, I knew this is not it. This is not it. Mm-hmm. God has something for me, because why would God leave me here like this? You know? So my journey of dissolving relationships and evolving and not feeling compelled to shrink or be how external people think I should be, it came from me trusting my journey throughout the day. And I'll say the day because sometimes it was really hard for me to even just have faith for the day. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people know what that feels like, to try to survive the day. And as I grew and developed, as I grew and developed along my journey, I stopped allowing myself to survive in it. I didn't want to feel the symptoms of survival. I didn't want to feel it. I'm like, no, why? I just woke up and I'm thinking about a bill. No, thank you. Return to right. Hello. But also, how can I navigate my reality while being a present mother? So yes, I have this heavy responsibility, but I refuse to look like what I've been through or what I'm going through. So I love on myself. I be gentle with myself. I give myself grace. And I be like, who gonna check me about it? Who gonna tell me, Depriya, no, you're resting too much? What do you mean? If God tells me to lay down, I'm laying down. If God tells me, baby, drink some water, I'm drinking some water. If God tells me that this person came to kill, steal, and destroy, I'm moving around. And this is probably the best thing that I have continued to trust along my journey, because my journey is not traditional, conventional. It's not what societal norms or terms or people feel like it should look like. But when they experience Depriya in any other space outside of the traditional, the groups, the crowds, they get to experience something totally different. They're like, wow, okay, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm seeing, okay, Depriya, yeah. But I'm moving and flowing throughout my life with trust in the Most High. I didn't come here to be appeased by any person. So you think I'm about to let you ruin my day? I think not. You know, I came here for the Prius. So it's always you versus you. It's always me versus me. It's always, how can I make the Prius feel good today? How can I navigate my life and feel like, okay, I'm making huge progress? Because one thing that I know, you always get dopamine hits when you're making progress. You don't feel any type of happy hormones or anything when you're stuck in one space, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. It doesn't happen. And if you want to reach new heights or accomplish new goals, you have to be able to raise your vibration. You have to be able to be happy now. You have to be okay with who you are now, how your life look now. Be okay with it, but be sick and tired of being sick and tired enough for you to transition, for you to move out of that energy, for you to pivot into what it looks like for you to experience peace, joy, abundance, lightheartedness. And anything in opposition of that, you start to remove yourself. And if you still allowing yourself to stay in those situations or environments, what are you going to receive back? Right.
That part. What are you going to receive back? What are you going to be the recipient of? That's a fact. That is a fact. And you know what? The evolution. I was on the line with somebody that had been a part of my journey for like maybe 2 decades, almost over a little bit over 2 decades. And you know, when I started to pivot, that person just no longer served the future self, my future self. And I didn't even worry about dissolving the relationship. I knew that person would fall off on their own because they wouldn't be able to handle the new capacity. You know, that new wine, new skins, the old stuff, sometimes it just falls away. And interestingly enough, there was somebody else in my life that came to my remembrance. And I was like, and my spirit immediately said, no, you don't. I said, you sure right.
Yeah.
And even in that moment of memory recall, I didn't entertain it because my spirit was like, no, that person's gone for a reason. I removed them for a reason. Don't go resurrect something dead and is stinking now. This is not a Lazarus situation, ma'am. This is not for you to go resurrect anything dead. This is somebody I removed out of your life intentionally. And they literally, when I say they fell off the face of the planet and I never heard from them again. And I was like, wow, that's just, you kind of don't even think about how sometimes the Father will block certain relationships and certain things because he definitely does not want you to be derailed by something or someone that appears to be a humanoid, and they could literally be a devil housed in humanity. You know, when the scripture talks about entertaining angels unawares, you think about that from two perspectives. There's two different kingdoms. We're not even gonna get into that, but there's two different kingdoms. There's the prince of the power of the air, and he rules everything underneath the air. And you better believe he has some people that are working for him. You better believe it. You better believe it, because he compelled a third of them to go down with him when he got cast out. So don't think he don't have somebody working with him that looks like you and I. So you just got to be wise and have a strong spirit of discernment. And I really like how you talked about the taking care of yourself, how imperative it is for you to take care of yourself. I put a story in earlier today when I was working out in the garage. I was like, don't give up on you. Don't give up on you. Don't quit on you. You can't afford to quit on you because you're your best asset. You are the greatest asset. It's the creator, then it's you, and then it's your neighbor. You love your neighbor as you love yourself, but you have to love you first. There's never going to be a time where you get on an airplane and there's tiny humans and they don't tell them, put the mask on you first. Don't go trying to save somebody else and you haven't saved yourself first. And that is so important. And we as women, we have a tendency to give all this stuff out and be depleted in every sense of the word. Can't even take time to even shower and take care of our temples properly. For somebody looking for us to give out something, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. I get to you when I get done getting to me. Okay. Because if you're not taking care of you, we're setting the wrong example. We're showing the wrong information. We're giving people the wrong message about how they can treat us. Hello, somebody. This includes anybody in your intimate ecosystem. I remember teaching my children how to treat me. And they were like, Mama said, I'm glad you talked to your other siblings. I'm glad you had a conversation with them because that's what Mama said. Well, Mama, you coming downstairs? I don't need to come downstairs. Well, Mom, what we gonna eat? The same thing that's in that refrigerator that I can cook, you all can cook because I taught you all how to do it. When you get done cooking, make sure you have something for me. How about that?
You know, Koffe, I want to add, if I will, I want to add. I think that as women, especially women who had to grow through survival, we become really strong. Our outer shell become harder than anything to penetrate our softer shell. And as we're navigating in that survival and strength, it becomes hard for us to recognize when we need to take care of ourselves more, because without you, there isn't anything else. And if God have it, you're going to have it regardless, whether you're resting, whether you're, pampering yourself, or you doing something for yourself to feel good, you're going to have it because you're pouring to the direct source that God created for you to live in. But if you're constantly giving, or feeling like you have to chase, or you have to do this, or you have to be the door for every person to survive, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Literally.
Right? Seriously.
Literally.
So in order for you to navigate your life without exhaustion, without feeling overwhelmed, or feeling like, oh, I got a husband and I got the kids and I got to do this and I got to do that and I have to work? What do you mean? You can't do that to the best ability if you're constantly doing this and pouring out your cup. You got to know when it's time for you to pull back, love on yourself, and say, you know what, today's my day. This is my boundary. If you overstep it, you got to go. And that's what any and every.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's so very, very true. We do have to create those boundaries. The love of ourselves is so important. And that's when we really honor our creator, when we love ourselves for sure. We're really honoring our creator when we love ourselves and we love the actual house in which our soul lives in. I really like how you said that. Listen, we have come to the top of this hour. This has been a fantastic conversation with these amazing ladies. Again, congratulations to each of the 15 writers for Faith Funding and the Female Founder, best-selling in every category. They are absolutely amazing. Connect with your favorite author to grab your copy. Let's say your copy, Lord, your copy, to grab your copy, honey. Listen, and you have just a couple more hours to grab an introductory offer pricing for that ebook. So go grab that right away. If one of the authors can put in the comments once we go off live, the link for them to go ahead and grab their copy, we would really appreciate that. And stay tuned for more announcements and more updates about this amazing publication. Until next time, this is P. Koffe Brown signing off for now. And thank you again to every amazing, amazing woman that has graced the stage of this publication. Peace and blessings.
The international best-selling book is available now, Faith Funding and the Female Founder. Grab your copy today from your favorite author. Share and bless a friend.
Mud on my hands still. I was reaching for grace. Something sacred was stirring in the hard place. And I heard it in the wind, like a door opening wide. The past can stay behind me. I'm I'm stepping into life.